Well, in the last video I showed you how to configure and how to prepare the server for the HANA, and I also showed you how to install all packages which is relevant to the HANA software step by step. So now we are going to install HANA software in Linux machine. So our objective is to install HANA on multi-host. I mean that server 1 and server 2 the same time. So let's start it with the installation. So here you can see that is our primary server. The host name is this, and that is our secondary server. We also called the worker server, which is always active. And we can also configure the standby server. I mean that if primary server is failed, then the standby server will active, and that is the primary server IP address, and that is the secondary server IP address, and the system DB, the sys ID should be DB1. I will show you. Okay, so first of all we have to configure, because you know that is the share the that HANA mount point is the share between two server. So one server need to communicate each other, so that is the region we have to configure like this way. So let's login. Somehow putty is disconnected. I think there is no issue with the server. There may be some network issue. Let's try again. This 1 2 3, that is our server 1. That should be server 2. 1 2 3, and we need to open our file. So let's start configure the host file. So we need to open that host file. That first line is already there. We need to add the second line. It's not copied properly. I think there is some issue with the copy. Okay, and we need to put the same. Now need to check the, actually it's already configured the host name, so we need to ping the SAP HANA SAP2 to make sure. Okay, so now server 1 is able to communicate with server 2. So we need to same way configure the server 2 to make sure that it is also able to communicate with server 1. So here you can see that number 1 is already there. So we need to just paste the second one. Now need to check that server 1, basically it should be 1. So now check that server 2 is able to communicate with server 1. Okay, so both are good. So now what we have to do, we have to configure the NFS mount point. So here is also some documents here how you can do, but easy way, you need to just execute these package one by one in both server. It seems that only first one is already installed. Try with the second one. Second one is also complete. Now execute this. Same way execute this. And now this one. This one we have to configure server 2 as well. So now we have to execute this. Same way we have to execute this. Start NFS server. So start NFS server. Good. So now we have to give access to both system. So there's the reason we need to open that file, export file, and we need to give access this way. Just paste here. We have to do the same for the second server. Copy this. So now we have to execute this. It's failed, but still it is okay. We have to try with the second server. Okay, you can see the HANA. It means that it is fine. So both systems are fine. So we have to create a directory that is called HANA. Basically this is the folder which will be shared between two systems. We have to give the permission. So permission is given. So now we have to mount. So this will execute in the command line 1. And this we have to execute to the second server. So now basically if there is a mount point issue, we need to execute this. It's called the I mean that if there is any, if after completing everything, if you cannot see the mount point or something like that, you have to use this. So now we have to use the df minus h. So now you can see this mount point is here as a HANA, so this is good. In the same way we have to check df minus, sorry, df minus h. So you can see that in the both server you can see the mount point directory showing here. So everything is fine. I mean that there is also some comments like that if you restart, then you will not find the mount point is there. So permanently you can fix this way. And in this command I found some issues, so I am not using. If you find how to solve this issue, I mean that after restarting, if I want to permanently make it mount point here, so we have to, why it's not working, you can if you know better, then you can comments this. So by this time it's I leave as it is, but it's now it is ready to install HANA. Okay, so in the next video I will start installation. Thank you so much.